It's the start of the third week of the new year, and I feel like I missed half of it already due to illness. Not so long ago, sickness was more than aches and pains or coughs and sneezes. It meant bouts of depression and anxiety because of the things I needed to do and just couldn't. Sickness often meant tremendous mental pressure and pushing through when I knew that I shouldn't. As a teacher, sickness meant planning for a substitute, delayed marking and planning, or worse, at least to me, late report cards. As most teachers would know, if you dropped the ball one day, it meant the to-do pile only got higher. Miss a few days, and the snowball effect turned into an avalanche. A lot of the pressure was internal. I felt guilty if I stayed home. I imagined what parents and administrators would say if I fell behind. My internal dialogue was harsh as I questioned myself. Why can't you just carry on like everyone else? Don't be lazy. You're not a good Christian if you can't do what others ask despite how rotten and overwhelmed you feel. It was about 2 years ago around this time that a therapist used the term self-compassion. I thought, what? I don't know why it sounded so far-fetched to me. I should be harder on myself than I should on anyone else. To me, self-compassion sounded like selfishness or self-pity. She went on to say things like, get to know depression and anxiety. Sit with them a bit. I thought she must be nuts. Why on earth would I want to give negative thoughts and feelings any space and time? Looking through an old journal, I found some of her exact words. Take steps to move towards that part of you feeling down and depressed. I had written in my book, Connect with Depression, followed by several question marks. It took a while, but I eventually got what she meant. The self-compassion part was quicker to become clear. If we see someone hurting, we would be curious. We might venture to ask, what's wrong? What happened? How can I help you? So why not ask the same questions of yourself? Why not express the same curiosity and sympathy towards oneself? I couldn't overcome that feeling that there was something unchristian about self-love. Then I remembered the scripture, love thy neighbor as thyself. It didn't stop at neighbor. Doesn't that mean there is room to love yourself too? But What was I supposed to do with her questions like, what would it be like to call that depressed and anxious part of you? The part of you you were trying to pull away from. What she really meant was to tone down the harsh inner dialogue. And mine was harsh. Why don't you just snap out of this? Don't be so weak. Shake yourself up, as my mother used to say. But what I needed to learn was to acknowledge my feelings like I would someone else's. Ask the question, the whys, the hows, the how can I support you? Getting closer to the overwhelmed part of you is not to become friends with that state of being, but to understand what factors led you there and to figure out what you need in those times of pain. I would love to say that from that day onwards, I showered myself with tenderness and soothing words. Nope, it took a while and I still struggle. But I am making it a habit to ask myself, what do I need in this moment to make it through? Sleep, a cup of tea, a shower, someone to pray for or with me? I want to encourage you to do the same. You might not be able to get everything you need in the time you need it, but even one thing can help. Try changing your inner dialogue to one full of compassion and kindness towards yourself. Remember that you are beautifully and wonderfully made. I wrote this down in my book, and perhaps it's something that the therapist said to me. Being kind to myself won't necessarily make me better, but be kind anyway.